go again. Another tough day waking up being a Broncos fan. They suffered their 8th straight loss against Miami yesterday. Romi Bean joining us now. What a mess.
What a mess. And this is the one that the Broncos were favored. We actually thought they could win this one. And it was the same old story. I think that has been the big frustration amongst fans and amongst Broncos players and staff, that it's the same old, as Justin Simmons said, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but that's what's happening. Every game they had, the Broncos were 1 of 13 on third downs yesterday through 3 interceptions. So it's the same thing, third down conversions, losing the turnover battle, really beating themselves, and they just can't seem to find a way to fix it. And you're kind of at the point now, there's 4 games left. Doesn't really seem fixable for the rest of the season.
Right.
Yeah, continuing on the dead horse theme, there's really not much life in this team for the last 4 games, I'm suspecting here.
Right, Alan. And you look, there's a whole lot of factors that go into it. First and foremost, football is a dangerous sport. Every time a guy goes out there, right, he's playing for his livelihood. He may be the last play he ever plays. And so for guys that have lost 8 in a row now, it's really hard to go and risk your health. Not to say that they are going to quit by any means, but it really changes the perspective. You know, you do play a little bit more safe. And in no way do you blame the guys for that, right? It's very hard, but these guys, and I will say credit to the Broncos defense yesterday, those guys went and played their guts out yesterday. I mean, they had a fumble. Bradley Roby got a fumble, and he recovered it. Chris Harris Jr. an interception. Justin Simmons, a pick 6. So those guys, that defense still has that heart where no matter what's going on, they're playing for the name on the back of their jerseys, and it's impressive.
It doesn't seem like there's lack of trying. I mean, it's tough being out there, I can imagine, when you seem like you just can't get the ball where you want it. You can't get into the end zone. You can't just do what your coaches are probably asking you to do. But that raises the question, are we going to potentially see some changes in the coaching lineup?
I think that we are absolutely going to see changes. When? May not be till the end of the season. At this point, you look, there's 4 games left. There's no chance at a playoff run at any point. So they'll make a decision internally whether they're just going to keep the staff as it is and then restructure in the offseason. But either way, in the offseason, we're going to see a lot of changes. Truly, everyone's job is on the line. Players, coaches, scouting, front office staff. Nobody's job is safe. And so when you factor that into what these guys go through every day, that extra tension, that makes the losses even harder.
I think there's another quarterback change coming. I mean, Trevor Siemian looked terrible yesterday.
I don't know if there's another quarterback change, but my opinion is unless Paxton Lynch gets healthy again, keep Trevor in there. Trevor truly, I believe, is a serviceable backup in this league. He reminds me very much of Gary Kubiak. And the essence of a backup is they can come in for 1 or 2 games and support you and help you through. They're not supposed to play 16 games. And I think Trevor can have a successful career as a backup, but I think we've learned that the Broncos do not have a starting quarterback on their roster.
Right, and I think we see that happening. Any projections as far as what the team needs to do ahead of this upcoming game here at home against the Jets?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just regroup. Go out there, play for pride, if nothing else. Every guy, truthfully, is still playing their hardest because they're on tape. This is an audition for whether it be the Broncos or another team next year. But for them really to just stick together, and even though there's no playoffs, just try to get a win, which they all want because they just want that lift in the locker room.
Yeah, boy, it's got to be tough. Romi, thanks a lot. You can always get more sports from us right here at CBSDenver.com.